Amazing. All right, so welcome to the opening circle for Inspired Femme. This is our collective membership for abundance codes, manifestation, alignment practices, and all of the incredible aspects of energetics in our aligned soul business. I'm getting a notification that I'm live on YouTube right now, so it's all working. So, welcome to the opening ceremony. I am super happy to have you here. We will have, just to do a little bit of housekeeping, we'll have on average 2 live workshops or ceremonies per month. And then I'll always stream those or put those recordings into our Facebook group. And I also have a school classroom, which is where I have all of my different courses. So the women that are inside Inspired Femme can always come into the school classroom to access trainings, workshops, or any kind of training videos and things like that. Oh, yay, there's Christina. Okay, so Christina's coming on into the live circle today. Amazing. We have Denise here. And at the end, we can do like hopefully like a little bit of meet and greet. I want to share with you a little bit about this, the beauty way. So as I was really thinking about, welcome, Christina. I just started live streaming over on YouTube because my stream key is still not working on Facebook. But this will go into our private Facebook group for Inspired Femme later. And this video will be unlisted. So it'll end up being a private video for this group only. Welcome to Inspired Femme. So it's really all about alignment, aligning with abundance, manifesting. And I'm going to be sharing inside of this group all of the different quantum principles that have really helped me to grow and expand my soul business to beyond 6 figures, but from a mystical and a spiritual perspective. And so this month, our theme is the beauty way. And this is something that I have a beautiful presentation that I'd love to share with you. So whenever we really come back to our souls and to ourselves, inside our spiritual business, our soul business, which I know that we're all here because we're sharing what lights us up, what our gifts are to the world. So Denise is like quite an expert in sales, in accountability, in structure and strategy, and all of those things. And so we're really here to just expand on that, be able to serve like even more people, and to kind of weave some more magic into the mundane. So that's something I'm really passionate about, is like having the magical experiences on a daily basis. And how do we tune into that even when, like I was sharing last Thursday, even when like things are not going our way, or we think we perceive that they're not going our way, but actually maybe they are going our way. Like, how do we give ourselves like permission and allow like more miracles and more magical manifestations to truly come in? And so, welcome, Christina. It's so wonderful to see you as well. So this will be totally interactive, this opening circle, opening ceremony. And then we can do a little Q&A as well at the end. Anything that I've talked about, this will go for about like 40 minutes. I've planned. It could go up to an hour, but I've allotted like 45 minutes. And so as we come back, so when I had the inspiration, number one, this collective membership has been brewing in my mind for a full year. And it's been like on my heart, because this is all of the mystical practices and the rituals and the things that I'm doing every single day in my creative and spiritual business. And the word divine spark actually came to me in meditation. And I'll be sharing like different guided meditations for you to help you step into greater alignment and expansion and vision and clarity in your own creative business and your own practices. So the word divine spark actually came to me in meditation, because it's really connecting to who you truly are, that spark inside of you. and it's like your divinity actually from like a spiritual perspective. And I'm not like talking about a religious practice, because of course this is open to everybody, like anybody that's like, of any affiliation. But I'm really talking like a spiritual connection. The only kind of person that this would probably really not resonate with is like somebody who just doesn't believe like maybe in anything. Then they would probably not sign up for this container, because we're here to really manifest. And when I use the word manifest, I mean the act of, in the art of co-creation. So we're really co-creating at all times with the universe, in our business, with other people, right? And that's what makes life so joyful and so much fun, right? Like so rich and so incredible. So you will have received your manifestation journals in the mail. This is my author copy. It's like so beat up. I love it because I love to go back and see what I wrote. I love to go back and see what I wrote, like, last month, and check and see, like, am I still really in alignment with my intention? And sometimes I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked that what I'm thinking about now has like evolved. Maybe what I've written down has actually come true. I went back through this morning and I had written down 25 magical moments. And I'll give you this exercise inside the Telegram one day this month. But I had written down 25 magical moments that I really, really wanted to come true. And like I put a heart this morning by every single magical moment that has already happened in the past month since I wrote the magical moments down. So that'll be in the Telegram app, that activity. So that's where I'll be sharing like daily alignment practices. In Telegram, it's really like a podcast. So it gets a little confusing in Telegram if like, for example, if this membership really grows, like my intention is to grow it to like 30 people, 30 members in June. So if it really, really grows, then if there's a lot of back and forth in the Telegram, it gets very confusing. Like you can't like find the podcast. So the Telegram is just for like the podcast and alignment exercises, which will just be from me. But then inside the private group that we have on Facebook is where you post anything. Like you post your wins, you post your introduction, you post your questions, you post your inspiration. Like you share and you interact as much as you want. Like there's no limit. Like I'm not I'm not like the only one who's sharing like a leader like that. It's like a circle of women. So we're all just guiding, each other inside the Facebook group. Okay, so what I'm excited to share or what I've talked about a little bit is how we'll have monthly master classes like this ceremony, or like these juicy workshops. And please try to attend as many live as you can. I know that you're all busy business women, so maybe you won't be able to attend one, and that's okay. I'll always share the recording inside the Facebook group and actually inside the school classroom, which I love the school classroom because it's just going to be like I don't know why I wanted to say meat and potatoes because I'm vegetarian, but it'll be like the meat and potatoes. It's like just the the actual the actual like recordings, so that you can find stuff really easily. Weekly alignment practices in Telegram, abundance codes. So I've been like really passionate about helping entrepreneurs, especially creative and spiritual entrepreneurs, create abundance in their life. Because in a way, and even like female entrepreneurs, because in a way we're really rebelling. It's really a sacred rebellion to create abundance, and to kind of defy maybe our conditioning, right, that we had growing up. So I know that like my conditioning growing up wasn't, I won't say like scarcity, but it was like very humble. It was like, be humble. You don't need to have like a lot of money. Like having a lot of money is, and like even talking about money was like very taboo, like in my family. So like I've been on a mission like since my 20s to like completely break that down. And it really started with a course that I took about 7 years ago called Unlimited Abundance. And also some different programs that I've loved. Ken Honda has a course called Happy Money, which I absolutely love. And so I've studied with a lot of really incredible thought leaders on abundance and like building wealth and things like that. So really breaking those conditionings, those social conditionings with different abundance codes and insights to help you in your business. Manifestation secret. So that's my passion of outside of being a creative and like being an artist. Like I just dabble like every single day in manifestation. I believe that our manifestations, especially our super conscious ones, come from our imagination, and they come from our subconscious, and they come from cultivating this awareness around what we want to create, right? And so the more that we can like cultivate this conscious awareness around what we want to create, the more that we're going to actually see it manifest in the world. And I'm still like shocked by my manifestations. My retreat coach Wendy always laughs because she's like, Hillary, why is this still surprising you? But I'm honestly like literally, and I know you guys know Wendy, I'm literally shocked by them. So letting them really inspire you and really surprise you, right? And I just want to say that if you've been called to this program or you've been called to this course, there are no mistakes. There are only synchronicities. So you're definitely attracted into this collective for a reason. And the reason will be revealed to you as we go through this process this month. And so for the month of May, which was like a super magical month for me, my son's birthday, my birthday, Mother's Day, it's just like one of my favorite months. We are going to follow the beauty way. And following the beauty way is like one of the keys, it's one of the codes to unlocking more abundance in your life and in your business, because the two are not separate. They're like intertwined, like in an infinity sign, right? So we are going to be following the beauty way. These are some other themes that I'm really playing with and really excited about. So to just kind of give you a preview, I do recommend staying with us for like 3 months so that you get like the full, and June is already covered because you guys jumped in May, so that you get the full experience, right? And that you can build momentum through the manifestations and all of the things. But this is just like what I'm playing with right now for themes that have been really dropping in that I wanted to share these abundance codes. So the first thing we're going to do is just drop in and anchor into the light. This is a practice that you can use anytime when you're feeling a little bit like you want to come back to yourself. And so I'm going to ask you to meditate with me really briefly. It's just going to be a brief meditation to anchor into the light. So this is the practice that I teach all of my clients. So all you have to do, and hopefully you can really only see me because I'm pinned, go ahead and close your eyes. You can feel free to turn off your camera if you're like, you don't like to be on the screen while you're meditating. It's like totally fine. I kind of don't mind because I have a 23-year-long yoga practice. I'm actually a 500-hour certified yoga teacher trainer. And so I meditate quite a lot. So anyway, go ahead and just close your eyes. And what we're going to do is we're going to anchor into our own light, into our own beautiful divinity, our own soul, our own frequency, our own divine spark. So placing, you really want your feet to be like firmly placed on the ground. Breathe in, take a deep breath in through your nose. We're going to breathe into the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. And then exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling again, inhaling through your nose. 1, 2, 3. And then just exhaling, relaxing, releasing, letting go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll do one more, and I'm not going to count this time, but on your inhale, just allow your exhale to be longer than your inhale. And when your exhale becomes longer than your inhale, you're dropping your shoulders down and you're relaxing your jaw and your tongue in your mouth. And then you're actually allowing your sympathetic nervous system to reset. So you go out of survival mode, you go out of hustle mode, and you start to become and you start to shift into that receptive mode because you're bringing all of your energy back to you now. So on the next deep breath in, I want you to bring all of your own energy back to you now. So anywhere that your energy has become dissipated, maybe it was an interaction today where your own energy was left behind. Maybe you had to hustle out the door this morning and drop your kid off somewhere. So now what we're doing is we're just calling all of our personal power and all of our energy back to us now. And if it helps, on your in-breath, I want you to gather all the energy, your energy, which is in your auric field, it's in your space, and I want you to bring it back into your heart center right now. So bringing all of that energy back to you now. We're going to begin the practice of anchoring into the light. And we're going to fill up your entire auric field with light. And it's going to become like a little bit of it's going to become a little bit of like a buffer, like an energy buffer. And it's like you're going to start resonating out your own energy now. So bringing light in through the crown, which is the very top of your head. So I want you to bring your awareness to the top of your head. I want you to imagine that there's like a big sun shining down on you, like a big beam of light, and bringing the light in through your crown, breathing into that, bringing it down into your third eye, which is located on your forehead between your two eyebrows, bringing the light through your third eye, opening up for more clear vision, more clear insights and wisdoms to drop in for you now, bringing that light down through your mouth, through your throat space, feeling your throat chakra really opening up. When our throat chakra is blocked, we have trouble saying what we really want to say and expressing our truest words. And that's also part of our conditioning, can be that we're conditioned, especially as females, not to speak out our truth for fear of, upsetting somebody or hurting somebody. So allowing that beautiful beam of white light to come in now through your throat chakra so that you can speak with loving words, but you can also speak your truth with kindness and communicate really clearly your message in your business. Bringing that white light now into the heart center and allowing it to just rest and start to form a little ball right in your heart space. Wonderful. Breathing into the heart space, inhaling through the nose, and then exhaling through your mouth as you're ready. And then we're going to bring the light up. So we're going to bring the light up now through your feet. So your feet are anchored firmly on the earth and firmly into the ground. I'm going to bring the white light up through your feet. I want you to see it coming up through your legs, like kind of a beautiful golden light that's coming up from the earth's energy, the vibration of the earth. You can feel it through your legs, through your knees, bringing it up through your hips. And imagine that white light now coming up through your root chakra, which is at the very, very base of your spine. That is our first chakra that really connects us to our lineage, to our mother specifically, bringing that white light now up through the lower chakras, which is like your abdomen and your solar plexus, which is just below the heart. I want you to see it swirling around your solar plexus, which is below the ribs, below the heart, clearing space, cleansing energy that is not your own. So on the in breath, breathing in, releasing anybody's energy that's still sticking around, that's not your own, any to-do list, any things that you are thinking about that you might need to do later, letting that go for just for now, because they will be there when you come back from this beautiful ceremony. And then allowing this golden beam of light that rose up from the earth, from your feet, to meet in your heart space with the other little ball of light that was swirling around. So we brought light in through the crown, and we brought light now in through the ground. And the two beams of light are meeting at your heart space. And I want you to picture the ball getting even bigger and swirling around. And now breathing in, allowing, softening, and allowing that beautiful golden light to expand outwards across your sternum, out past your shoulders. I want you to imagine it extending out and around your energy field, around your aura. Like you can imagine it like an egg, like an oval shaped light that is resonating out. It's your pure light, your own beautiful divine spark, which is here and it's available and it's resonating out, and it is now keeping a beautiful buffer, a beautiful energetic buffer, and also resonating this beautiful energy out into the world, out into you can see the golden light spilling out into the room that you're in. You can even see it spilling out from the room and swirling your studio or your house or your office. And that is now you are anchored in light, in your own pure energy, and you've come completely back to yourself. And as you're ready, you can bring your awareness back into the room, back into the space, and just notice if anything shifted, if anything changed as you kind of came back into being more grounded and in your own pure, beautiful, white or golden energy. And as you're ready, you can bring your attention and your focus back into the room and just notice if anything shifted. And if anybody feels like they notice something specific that they would like to share, you can take yourself off mute and you can share that now. So if there's anything that you noticed, or give me a little thumbs up if you've ever done an anchoring and light practice like that before. Okay. All right. Amazing.
No, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you hear
I can
me?
totally hear you. Yep.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if my things were working. I had been in some not so great energy the past couple days, and
Yeah.
this is just what I needed. I feel way more at peace, but yet kind of like anticipatory or excitement a little bit. Like,
Okay. Amazing.
yeah.
Yeah. And so you can use that like you know, there have been times when I've done that like every day. And then there's been times when maybe I remember to do it like once a week. So that's a practice, and I'll keep this recording. So you can come back to it if you like the guided meditation. But what you'll learn is you'll just be able to quickly do it and bring the light in through your crown, bring the light up from the ground, anchor it here in the heart center, and then let your heart energy resonate out. So one thing that I always like to share is that we actually manifest through the heart space. So as much as our super conscious manifestations come from these kind of subtleties of like the mind, it's our heart energy, which is more powerful. And like science has finally measured this, but like our heart energy is like more powerful than any mental energy because it's like the energy of love. And then what's even more powerful than love that they've now measured and found out is actually authenticity. So when you're really resonating like who you are, then you're going to be able to impact more people and to share your impact with more people because you're really showing up with that love and authenticity. I kind of feel like they go together, actually. Um, and so, one thing that we can just reflect on right now is gratitude. And that's why I have this first journal prompt. So, I'll always share these beautiful journal prompts with you, either in Telegram or in the live ceremonies. But what is something that's really beautiful that's already unfolding in your life? So if anybody has something like right away that drops in, I'd love for you to share that with me. So something really beautiful that's already manifesting. Um, for me, I'll say my retreat, my inspiration retreat. We have just one spot left. It's happening. It's already happening, so it's already manifesting. And just like really noticing and noticing to the universe what's already happening is a way to say more, please. So we always want to just notice like the things that are happening, because what we have the tendency to do, and what happened to me last Thursday, is we put our focus. And I did drop a podcast. If you haven't been in the Telegram app yet, I dropped a podcast on this. But our tendency is to focus on what's not happening rather than what is
Yeah.
happening, right? And so we have to consciously keep bringing like our attention back to what is already working. And then if we just laser in on that, we just laser focus on that, then we get more of it. But if we laser focus on what's not working, then we actually get more of what's not working. So, and generally, we don't want that. Yeah, I love that, Denise. What you focus on totally expands. Absolutely. Mhm. And then for today, so just like starting to work with that intentionality, like what is one intention that you have for yourself? And you can set the intention for the week or for the month. But is there something that you are getting really intentional about that you would really like to see happen in your life or in your business?
I think for me is I've gotten so comfortable behind the camera, and I've
Mm-hmm.
been saying this, and now that I'm pretty caught up, um, I have to start getting in front of it,
Mm-hmm.
because when I was getting in front of it a lot, my clients they connect with my story. They connect with what boudoir did for me before boudoir was a thing,
Mm-hmm.
like 17 years ago. I didn't realize that it would become a thing, right, in photography. And when I talk about that,
Mm-hmm.
that's when they connect with me. And all the stories that come through here is my reason for my retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny you brought up the retreat, because
Mm-hmm.
when I did the video about it, I've had like 3 people already asking me for more details. And
And
one of
so
them is my
focusing
best
on that.
friend. Yeah.
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 Uh-huh. Yeah.
So
And then
it's been exciting.
Christina, I love
Yeah.
this idea of getting um more in front of the camera and like sharing your story more, right? Like you're saying. Yeah. That really, like, the first word that dropped in was like lives. That I don't know, that dropped
Yeah.
in when you said that. So I don't know if
Yeah.
that's your
That's what I
intention or if
used to
that's
do. Yeah.
yeah.
I used to do them a
Mhm.
lot, and I got busy, being a one woman show
Mhm.
is really hard, and I had to
Mhm.
not do them so much.
Cut back. Yeah.
That,
Hmm.
yeah. And then I went through a period of a lot of things that I had to heal from.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and so that's when all the spirituality came into my life.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
of course, Wendy is just part of that.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
So,
Hmm. Can I just share with you? So inside of this journal, you'll see it
mhm.
says like weeks 1 through 4, or it might say, let me grab one of my updated copies because I do have a few, I did do a few edits. It might say days one. Yeah, it does still say weekly goals, weeks 1 through 4. So this is a great place if you'd like to set your intentions for the week and for the month. It's a very,
Okay.
very powerful place to check in with your alignment and your alignment
Oh, I see.
practices. Yep. It's just after the first few pages. The first few pages, I share different
Yeah.
kinds of meditations that I love to kind of get me into the receptive mode. So that's what those first few pages are. But this is where you
Okay.
set your intentions and also noticing the big dreams that you're calling in. So that's just the second part of that intention question. When we start to really work with intentionality, then the universe can really respond and help us to create things in ways that we could never have imagined. Okay. So for June, the theme, I was going to do it just for May, and then I'm like, 8 days in May is not enough for this theme. It's called Hozo. And it's a theme that I discovered. So I'm really interested in like indigenous practices and like the ways that like the ancient people kind of lived on the earth. I think that there's a lot of wisdom there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so Hozo comes from an ancient Navajo practice, which means to follow the beauty way. And I have this like card deck, and I kept pulling the card like over and over again to follow the beauty way. And so I started doing that in my own life and just noticing what happened when I shifted again my attention onto beauty. And so what I'm going to talk about in the next few slides is how we can start to shift our attention to beauty. And that's the practice that we're going to adopt for the next 30 days, focusing on the beauty and then noticing what more wants to happen and what more wants to come through. So it's an ancient Navajo practice. So I do want to acknowledge that it comes from that Native American lineage, but it's actually an indigenous practice that was possibly practiced by even more than just the Navajo, actually. So it means living harmoniously with all of life as it unfolds, aligning with the divine. And so when I had named the program Divine Spark, I literally got chills when I read that. So aligning with the divine, the natural world, and our inner selves. So this is our path for the next month inside of Inspired Femme. So why follow the beauty way? So I'm going to start to unpack this week in the podcast. But the first reason is because it leads to spiritual growth. Cultivating beauty is seen as a spiritual practice. So actually, the more beauty that we cultivate in our life, and I'm going to give you like some practical ways to do this, but the more beauty that we like cultivate, it becomes this spiritual practice. Like, how can I make this more beautiful? How can I make this more artful? How can I allow more inspiration to really flow into what I'm creating? And this could even like be applying to something as practical as like your content, your newsletter. Like, how can you really elevate and allow more beauty to come in? Okay. So it's a profound practice that leads to personal growth and enlightenment. And then the second reason that I'm going to talk about today is it as it applies to business and creativity. But first, I'll just tell you this quick little story. So it was my birthday on Sunday. So it's kind of fun because sometimes it's over Memorial Day weekend and then we just have like fun for the whole weekend. I also like to celebrate my birthday for like a whole week. So I'm that person that declares that it's like my birthday week and then celebrates for the whole week. But I went to this beautiful yoga class on my birthday and they had sound healing going on. And as I walked inside, there was an older woman that was by herself, an older lady. She had a huge bucket of roses, like a huge bouquet of roses, and she was selling them. And I told her, not right now, maybe on the way out, because I was going to hot yoga And I knew that if I bought those roses from her, and she just wanted a donation basically for roses. I knew if I bought them, then they would just completely wilt because it was like a
Mhm.
100-degree room. So I knew I couldn't take them on the way in, but it was only an hour-long class. So I told her maybe on the way out, I can snag some from you. And when I went out, it wasn't just her anymore. It was her and her little daughter. And her daughter was like exactly my son's age. And so I gave her a donation and she asked me how many roses I wanted. And of course, I didn't want to be too greedy and take the whole the whole basket. So I said, I'll just take two. And I took these two beautiful, beautiful roses, right? Just following the beauty, literally beauty. And her daughter, when I gave the money and then took the roses, her daughter, like the biggest smile came across her daughter's face. So I knew that it meant something to them. So, from a spiritual perspective, when we start to tap in and tune in and like follow the beauty, then it becomes a win, win, win. It's not just that I win, it's like I win and they win and we all win.
Yeah.
So, really thinking about that um, from a spiritual perspective, how to create that win, win, win in our business. And that's something I'm really passionate about. So the next slide that I wanted to mention is how business and creativity um, are really fostered by following that beauty, right? A practical example of this that I can give is I noticed that um, one of the women that I'm going on retreat with, Lori, and I'm also in her nutrition and meditation class, she sends out these beautiful emails in Flowdesk. And I was feeling so over my old email provider, like so clunky, messing around forever, tweaking these emails. And I'd been with this mail provider for like 10 years, right? So I had mastered it. I knew how to use it really well, but I didn't find the checkout pages beautiful. I didn't find them inspiring. And so then I really had to ask myself, well, like, what energy is going to come through my newsletter? What energy is going to come through my emails if I'm in frustration, right, while I'm like crafting and creating these emails? And so one big shift that I made in the last month is I decided to let go of my old, and I had tons of landing pages and automations and all things built. I decided to just let go of all of that and just move it over and streamline and find more simplicity with this new mail provider. And I'm loving their checkout pages as well. And it's like that's the energy I want to resonate of my business. Simple, beautiful, streamlined. So I really want you to ask yourself and think about, is there any place in my business? And you'll start to notice over the next month. So you might not have the answer to this question today, but is there any place where you can infuse your business with more beauty? Is there anything that you desire? It doesn't mean you have to do what I did and go do a bunch of work moving everything over, but is there anywhere that you desire to have more beauty and more simplicity in what you're creating? Is there any way you can allow things to be easier? Now I'm like running to my mail to write these emails and to craft these landing pages. I actually scrapped another landing page provider while I was at it. So I ended up actually saving money. And now I'm like so excited and finding something so beautiful. So is there anything that you'd really like to let go of to follow more beauty? A few more food for thought, and then we will have some reflections. I'd love to hear some reflections from you. Is there something right now that is really bringing you joy, like really, really bringing you a lot of joy in your life that you're just like super um, just infused by that heart, uh, that vibration of like joy in the heart space? Is there anything that anybody would like to share? Anything that's dropping in, something that's really bringing you joy right now in your business or in your life?
I'll share.
Mhm. Yep.
The creating the retreat, I pretty much have it all together.
Mhm.
Um, and for June, I do everything for women because I've always catered to women.
Mhm.
Well, my son is a single father, and he said, "Mom, there's all this stuff is always for women. Like everything is always for women. There's nothing
Mhm.
out there for men. Like you do everything that you do is for women." I was like, boy, if you don't get out of my face, I will slap you in the back of the head because I always want you to model for me, but you just never want to. He
Mm,
goes, no, he goes, I'm speaking in general. Like
mhm,
everything you do is for women. I said, oh, I guess you're right. I said, but I don't have, I'm not in the market for males. I don't want to do male boudoir. He goes, no,
mm,
but you always talk about how good I look when I dress up.
mm,
I go, yeah, but getting you to dress up is a pain in the ass. And him and my husband, I love to see men dressed up.
mm.
Get a man to do like that distinguished GQ look or distinguished gentleman look. Like I love that. I'm so all through June, I created um, I'm finished up a campaign for just finished it so I can roll it out. And it's called Distinguished Cloud Cover Photography.
Wow.
I'm rolling out is Distinguished Gentleman Photography only for men.
Mm,
So
that's so
women
cool.
get their hair and makeup done in my studio prior to the session. They're getting like an express little facial prior to the session.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. So that's bringing you a lot of joy right now working with men. And
Yeah,
that sounds like a really expanded soul offering. So congratulations.
thanks. And also kind of, I love doing what I do. Like I absolutely love my job,
Mhm.
but sometimes I give it creator's block. And
Mm.
when I do something completely different, it brings me back again. It gives my creative juices flowing again. So that's can
I
be
feel
fun.
that too. When we change things up and we free things up a little bit,
Yep.
sometimes we get a little bored, doing the same
Yep.
thing over and over again.
My studio's a mess because
Um,
I'm about to mess it up again and redo it.
I'm gonna just share the last few slides with you, and then what I'll do is I'll stop the recording, and then we can just have final thoughts. So, working with this intentionality, this one thing that you're calling in, I want to talk about preview some different ways that you can like supercharge this intention by following the beauty way, the way of the Navajo, which is deeper than, I'm not talking just like superficiality. I know I showed you with the roses, but what I mean is like that deeper, more profound beauty that is more closely tied to authenticity. But it can also just be like, when we see something beautiful, it does light us up, especially for, well, mainly for everybody, right? Like beauty is this spiritual practice. It can be. So, what I want to talk about is how you can maybe even create like a little altar. This isn't like my altar, but sometimes I will put special things here. I'll go more
Okay.
into the practice of creating an altar inside the group, but I just want to show you like an example of the special things that you can put. Mine are kind of laid down right now, but I have like thank you cards that people have given me, right? So it's like a gratitude on the altar. You can have people that are important to use pictures. This is a little note from my 95-year-old grandmother. Oh my God.
Oh,
She's 95. She's so cute. She sends me little notes. I have like crystals on my altar. So if you have a little spiritual space, you can always put roses and flowers. Then you can have this intentional practice. And you can go to that space or to that altar and you can say, you can speak your intentions, you can write your intentions out, right? And the more that we have this like mindfulness that we're like bringing to like what we're bringing forth in the world, the more that it just does manifest because that's our attention, that's our focus. As you said, what we're focusing on is what happens, what we bring to life, actually.
yeah,
What we're not focusing on totally falls away. It actually will completely fall away if we
yeah,
just don't focus on something for enough time. So, and that's like with relationships, right? With business relationships, with everything. So we're always
yeah,
finding this harmony or this balance as we bring in all of these different things that we'd like to see in our business. Um, and then I'd also like to say one thing that I would like to say though is it doesn't necessarily completely fall away and disappear because everything that we're doing is like a snowball. It is like building momentum. So it's never like completely lost the learnings or the things that we've created in the past because it is an accumulation, right, of all of the former moments, the past moments that we've had and that we've created from. Okay. So developing that awareness over the next month, I'm looking at the pages and I actually need to skip that page. This is the beautiful prayer that I'm going to share with you. So feel free to close your eyes. This is the actual Navajo prayer. It is translated from their language. I believe that the prayer in Navajo is called the Dine. I hope I'm saying it right. It's called the Beauty Way prayer. So in beauty I walk. With beauty before me I walk. With beauty behind me I walk. So it's like leaving a trail of beauty behind you. With beauty above me I walk. With beauty around me I walk. It has become beauty again. It has become beauty again. It has become beauty again. And it has become beauty again. And then just sealing that in, feel free to open your eyes when you're ready, as you have soaked in that beautiful prayer, imagining beauty in future moments, beauty in the past moments, and basically things becoming beautiful all around you. The final thought that I would love, 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 love to share with you is that kind of like the opposite. So I kind of looked at some of these different monthly themes and I kind of thought about like what would be the opposite of these intentions that we're creating in this collective. And so the monthly theme of June is beauty. So what would be the opposite of that? Would actually be superficiality or fear, right? And actually see that fear is the opposite of beauty, because it's when we're not really recognizing that we have that power to create beauty. So it's staying kind of on the surface level and not really going deep, or avoiding the things that we really need to say. Maybe we really need to have a conversation with a client, or maybe we really need to have a conversation with a loved one, you know? And how can we allow our truth and the words that we speak from our throat chakra to be really beautiful with compassion and kindness in our marketing and our messaging as well. These are other opposites. So whenever we're having fun and creating lots of money, this is what I'd really like to do in July. And this is something that I've done in the past. I did a cash creation challenge with a group of women, and we had so much fun thinking of all the ways to create money and to infuse and inject our business with money. And so that playfulness around money, the opposite is being really rigid and thinking that it can only come through one offer or only come in one way. And I'll totally go more into that. I'm sure you guys kind of already know what I'm talking about with this. But these are just some themes that I'm playing with. And then of course, I want to hear from you, like, what is one thing that you really want to experience or take away from this container or from this next month together? So if you already have an idea, just because it's helpful for me to think about how I can best serve, then please let me know in just a minute when I stop the recording. The last thing I want to share with you are the resources. So if you got in early, which is actually all 5 of the women who are inside right now, received this manifestation journal in the mail. If you did not receive the full journal, because maybe you're hopping in later, you are going to get a 30-day free downloadable journal that you can download. And so you can have it as a monthly accountability. So you'll get that PDF, digital downloadable. You have the school classroom as a resource. That's where I will drop all of the recordings so that you can find them really easily. And they'll also be in the Facebook group. But the Facebook group is more like our space for chatting, for conversing, for sharing the beautiful things that are coming through. And then, of course, if anybody feels like they need extra support, I just had a woman jump in this morning. Ascend is my mystical business course. It is a 12-module course, and it is the practical and the spiritual side of business. And so if anybody needs more information on that, just feel free to DM me, because right now with Ascend, you get 3 months of Inspired Femme. So the women that are in Ascend will be coming into Inspired Femme to have more support, like with the collective, and like getting to know all of the incredible entrepreneurs inside of the group and the visionaries. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop the share. And then I'm going to stop the recording in a second. Oh my gosh, did I not hit record? That's okay. I have it on the live stream. So I'm going to go ahead